Welcome to Mojo Travels, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 best cities in the world in 2022.
Are you a fan of our videos? Be sure to subscribe to Mojo Travels and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
For this list, we've ranked, according to the Time Out Index, the world's finest cities to visit and live in during 2022, whether for culture, community, attractions, or all of the above. Number 10. Copenhagen. Time Out has credited Copenhagen as Europe's greenest city, with its walkability being among the prime factors. In a survey, 86% of the respondents noted how easy it was to stroll through the Danish capital. Not only is it easy, but it's the ideal way to see the city. Copenhagen is lined with enchanting landmarks like Christiansborg Palace and Rosenborg Castle. The district of Nyhavn in particular will make spectators feel as if they're walking through a rainbow, with the colourful buildings reflecting onto the harbour. Speaking of which, you can experience the waterways up close aboard boat tours, kayak bars and hydrofoil bikes. The streets of Copenhagen were tailor-made for biking as well. In 2022, the city even hosted the Tour de France Grand Depart. Number 9. Montreal. The pandemic and inflation have taken their toll on the restaurant industry. Chances are some of your favourite local places have closed. In Montreal though, hot new eateries and bars have been popping up in 2022, making it the ultimate destination for foodies. Between partaking in smoked meat, poutine and other delicacies that the Canadian city is famous for, you can take in the metropolitan area's architectural marvels. Observing Notre Dame Basilica and the historic neighbourhood of Old Montreal can make you feel as if you've been transported to a historic European city. At its core, however, Montreal is wonderfully Canadian, with welcoming, diverse faces around every turn. Public events have come roaring back as well, including Montreal en Lumiere and the Osheaga Music and Arts Festival. Number 8. Berlin. Given the state of the economy, you might assume that a European vacation is out of your price range. While some places in Europe will put a strain on your savings, Berlin isn't simply an exception. It's one of the most inexpensive spots you can visit. 90% of participants in a Time Out survey can attest to that. You won't have to worry about renting a car and the gas costs that ensue. In addition to being one of the best cities for walking, a modest amount can cover train, tram and bus fare for a month during the summer. Although the German capital accommodates travellers on a budget, the sights are priceless, from Brandenburg Gate to Charlottenburg Palace to the Museum Island. Number 7. Marrakesh. Some people travel purely for the sights. Marrakesh in Morocco more than delivers on that front, with landmarks like the Gate of Bab el Now and the massive Koutabia Mosque. For some, it's not just about sightseeing, it's about the friends you pick up along the way. In a Time Out poll, 70% of participants cited Marrakesh as a great place to form new acquaintances. The market square of Jam El Finia brings together tourists and residents alike. Aside from bargaining with vendors, you just might come across somebody to share a tall glass of orange juice with. For architectural enthusiasts, you're bound to find someone who shares your passion at Behia Palace or El Badi Palace. Wherever you go, the community is part of the appeal. Number 6. Prague. In the Time Out Index, Prague came in third for beauty, with 90% of locals praising the Czech Republic capital's sights. Prague is the perfect representation of the phrase pretty as a picture. Be it the bridges on Vltava River or the soundings of Old Town Square, there are no shortage of stimulating spots to bring an artist's canvas to life. Artistic inspiration can also be found at any of the local museums, galleries and historic buildings, like Schwarzenberg Palace. The city's artistry couldn't be more varied, ranging from complex landmarks like Franz Kafka's moving head sculpture to simpler sites like John Lennon Wall. As historical as it is cultural, a visit to Prague is like walking through a frame into a work of art. Number 5. Amsterdam. Anyone with a travel bug has fantasized about cycling through Europe. There isn't a better European haven to experience on two wheels than Amsterdam. Where most surveys have at least a few naysayers, Time Out was hard pressed to find anyone who didn't champion the city's cycling. If that 100% guarantee isn't enough of an endorsement, just look at any of Amsterdam's neighbourhoods. It's a city that manages to be nostalgic and trendy at the same time, appealing to just about everyone. Given how diverse and backwards many places can be these days, visitors will take comfort in Amsterdam's enduringly progressive views towards the LGBTQ+ community. Whether smelling the tulips in the morning or partying the night away, we're all about Amsterdam. Number 4. Glasgow. The name Glasgow actually originates from the descriptor Green Hollow, with the city also having earned the nickname the Dear Green Place. As grittily urban as it still is in parts, this Scottish city lives up to those aforementioned descriptions, with gorgeous trees, fields and parks injecting life into every scenic backdrop. Being such a fruitful wonderland, Glasgow is ideal for festivals, exploration and outdoor meals. On that note, you won't have trouble finding a vegetarian or vegan eatery, keeping with the green theme. You may find yourself envious of those who live in Glasgow, but the locals are every bit as welcoming as the city's aesthetic. Time Out calculated especially high marks for friendliness, with 78% feeling the kindly vibes. Number 3. Medellin. Capital of the mountain, city of the flowers, city of the eternal spring. These are just some of the names that Medellin has gone by. As they suggest, this Colombian city is radiant with natural beauty. This may lead one to believe that Medellin is best experienced during the day. While you certainly can't go wrong with a glorious day trip, it's at night when Medellin really springs alive, with the city lit up. 90% of participants in a Time Out survey highlighted the nightlife, ranking higher than everywhere else in that department. Meanwhile, the food and drink scored a 97% approval rating, while the community cheer got 90%. All of those elements equal a fun night on the town. Number 2. Chicago. Some say New York is the best US city, others say Los Angeles or San Francisco. Well, in 2022, that honour goes to the Windy City. We've all endured tough times these past couple of years. Few cities have pulled through like Chicago. Receiving a resilience rating of 55% from a Time Out poll, the wind has returned to Chicago's sails, with the community once again embracing the breezy nightlife, thriving cityscapes, and activities that can appeal to all ages. Chicago also garnered marks in the upper 90s for its food and art scenes. In some cases, food and art intersect, as a Chicago-style deep dish pizza may appear almost too visually enthralling to eat. In the end though, nobody can resist that cheese. Number 1. Edinburgh. Back to bonnie Scotland. On Time Out surveys, the Scottish capital scored impressive marks in all of the most integral areas. 95% associated Edinburgh with beauty, which reflects the appeal of outstanding landmarks like the Scott Monument, Edinburgh Castle, and the Palace of Holyrood House. 93% commend the walking route, with venues like the Royal Mile and Inverleith Park, providing dreamy backdrops. Above all else, Edinburgh is a place where anyone can be comfortable in their own shoes. 88% felt they were able to express themselves in Edinburgh. Whether you're looking for a brief getaway or a place to lay down roots, we all need an environment and community that'll allow us to open up. Once you've welcomed Edinburgh into your heart, it'll never leave you.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Mojo Travels, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.